news.
Stop the music. It's time for news.
Let's head on into the drone newsosphere and see what's going on in the industry with our buddy Jeff Sills. What's happening?
Not too much. I got a good selection of news for you guys this week. Some interesting stuff, some really cool stuff. So, Drone Harmony is the sponsor for the news. Drone Harmony automates mission planning and the most challenging vertical inspection scenarios, guaranteeing high quality, reproducible data collection by pilots with minimal training.
Yes, and Drone Harmony, it sounds like a dating site for drones, but it is not. It is a great thing. You need to check it out. Now, we're going to be giving away a 3-month introductory prize. This is good for 3 months. I think that's what she said. But we're going to let somebody get this for free later on in the show. Here's a little bit more about Drone Harmony.
The Drone Harmony platform is designed to ease the data acquisition process with UAV technology. Drone Harmony provides autonomous flight planning for select DJI drones. Plans can be generated on Drone Harmony's Android application or via our website. Once your plans have been created, your drone pilots can execute the autonomous flight plans with our Android application and DJI controllers. Download Drone Harmony and start your free trial now.
Thank you very much, Drone Harmony. We appreciate your sponsorship of the news. What's going on, Jeff?
All right, so first we have in Australia, they were going to have a big New Year's Eve drone show in Melbourne. And this was planned, but had to be canceled because disruptions from the COVID-19 pandemic caused Melbourne to have to cancel their New Year's Eve drone show. They were forced to pull the plug on the New Year's Eve drone show after the quarantine restrictions delayed deliveries of material to the Celestial company that was going to do the drone show with 350 vehicles. The decision nixed the city's claim of playing host to what was going to be Australia's largest UAV spectacle. And so Sydney took up the mantle, and they were able to sort of, I guess, skirt some of the restrictions. And they got Intel to run their Elevate Sydney Festival, which is a 500 drone show.
Wow.
So, yeah. And of course,
I've seen one of these shows in person. They are unbelievable.
You have seen one? I've never seen one myself.
I've actually seen a couple. I saw one in Oshkosh, Wisconsin during the big air show up in Oshkosh. And then I saw one at Sun and Fun in Lakeland, Florida this last year. And the one in Sun and Fun in Lakeland, it was really amazing.
How many drones did they have? Did they have this many?
I couldn't tell you. I don't think they had 500 or anything, but it was pretty cool.
How many drones do you need for like photorealism, like to see someone's face in the sky? Because that's what I want to see. I want to see like a photograph, like a low-res photograph of someone.
You would need several thousand to get a really solid image. But Intel is probably one of the companies that has the most that they fly on a regular basis, and their drone shows are pretty detailed. Okay, so next in the news, we have a fun one. Raytheon has a new tool called the Coyote, and this is a anti-drone missile. But I'm going to tell you, the blast fragmentation warheads on this thing, picturesque-wise, is absolutely amazing.
Oh, yeah, this looks thing, like when the Death Star in Star Wars explodes.
Oh, yeah. This thing has a fireworks show to end all fireworks shows.
And they filmed it at high speed. Look at that.
Yeah, so the demonstrations that they were doing were high altitude and low altitude tests, and they were actually firing their anti-drone rocket at drones to show the capability. And they used several different types of drones, but it doesn't actually have to hit the drone. It just has to get close to the drone, and then the fragmentation is what does all the damage.
Oh yeah, the shockwave. Yeah, the shockwave. That'll get you.
Yeah, that was probably the most amazing footage that I've seen come out of Raytheon in a while.
Yeah. What do you think, Jason? All right, please continue, Jeff.
All right, so it's been 1 month since the Mayfield Tornadoes had gone and torn through and caused all that damage. And so we have some video footage that was taken by the drone of the work effort that's being done to try to clean up. And there's still a lot of damage. that remains that still needs to be taken care of.
Yeah. Now, if Jason were here, he would tell you that he recently flew over Mayfield and saw all this. This is a lot of time later, and it's still... A lot of these buildings are going to have to be just torn down and they start over again.
Yeah, it's going to take quite a long time to get through it, because you can see that, they're going to have to go, portion by portion, building by building, and start clearing this area up. So it's going to be a major environment, a major thing to do.
I just feel so bad for this community. But the surrounding communities, everybody in Kentucky and surrounding states, the whole country being very helpful to Mayfield. And Jason is back. Jason, you recently flew over Mayfield yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, I flew over, the day before yesterday for the first time. I did fly my plane out of Mayfield one day, but I didn't really fly around the town. In fact, whenever I flew out, they had a TFR over the city, so you weren't supposed to fly over that. But it was amazing to me how much devastation there was. And I've been there several times. I've driven through. I've seen the people who have been hit the hardest, and it still was a shock. Just how much of that community is just gone.
How many of those buildings will be salvageable?
Oh, it's. I hate to say this, but I think the ones that you look at and you can see that they look bad, they're just goners. They're gone. One of them is the Historic Hall Hotel in downtown Mayfield. It's probably the largest building down there, and it is up against another building. So from where you're looking at the courthouse right here, if you were to pan to the right, if we could see to the right, you'd see the Hall Hotel, and it is up against another building, and that building was tore up, which means that it's structurally impaired the hotel. And from what I understand, while it's still standing there right now, they're going to have to take it down. So.
Yeah, there's not many buildings that are going to be savable there.
And I bank at the F&B Bank. That's the big bank right there across the street from the courthouse, and that's a fairly new building. They say that it's got to come down. Yeah, they've had some structural engineers looking at it, say it's coming down. The
security footage from that bank is incredible. You can find that online if you so choose.
Yeah, I highly recommend that. That was amazing footage.
Yep.
Okay, so next in the news, Autel was at CES 2022, and they also brought, not only their new drones, but they brought out some interesting new technology. So the first thing that they introduced is called the Evo Nest, which is a long-range, charging platform. And then they have a new fixed-wing VTOL, which is called the Dragonfish. And the Dragonfish is a visual surveillance and monitoring drone, but it has the ability to transition from a drone to an aircraft. So it will take off and land like a drone, but then it transitions into a fixed wing mode, which then gives it more energy efficiency, and it can fly at longer distances.
I saw something similar to what you're describing in person. Is that like an Osprey?
Yes.
Is it kind of like? Oh, that's cool.
Very similar to the Osprey.
There's nothing cooler. I mean, you get the speed of a fixed wing and the I don't know what you would call it, but the ease of operation, just taking off and landing wherever you want to of a helicopter. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is going to be some amazing technology, and looking, because it's from Autel, that we should see a lot more about that one in the future. So, all right. So next we have some news. This is out of Sweden. Trollhättan is a western town in Sweden, and a 71-year-old Swedish man suffered a heart attack while shoveling snow and was saved by an unlikely hero.
And that is the hero right there, is it not?
Yes, this is essentially a emergency services drone that carries an AED, which is an automated external defibrillator. And it flew from its home port to the house where the man had the heart attack in less than 4 minutes. And his wife was then able to follow the instructions that was provided to her on the phone. and within 10 minutes of experiencing the heart attack, they were able to use the defibrillator to stabilize him enough that they could get him to the hospital. So his life was saved by a drone.
How long would it have taken an ambulance to get there? Because I mean, time is a factor in these cases.
I would say that from the aspect of an ambulance, it would have taken considerably longer. The simple fact that the drone was there 4 minutes after she made the first phone call was just very impressive.
This is going to save a lot of lives.
Wow.
It's going to save a lot of lives.
Yep. Yeah.
And
that's awesome.
drones aren't. Go ahead, sir.
No, I was just going to say I could also see it causing problems because I know my better half, for example. I really don't. I don't want to see how a defibrillator would work out there, but you know, I guess with the right instructions, anybody can do anything, right?
Yes.
In a life or death or situation, you're going to try. You're going to, you know, I would plug an extension cord into the wall and touch it to my chest.
It'd be pretty bad with all that life insurance I've got, though. It takes 4 minutes for the drone to get here, and then it takes 25 minutes to walk outside and get it and bring it back.
Wow. Drones are doing good things.
That's cool.
And speaking of good things, the Derbyshire police recently located a man who was missing for 6 hours using a drone. This 80-year-old left the hospital confused. He was found in a bush, freezing and unwell, but alive.
These drones with the FLIR on them. They're catching bad guys and saving good guys.
The temperature that was out there was 35 degrees Fahrenheit. And he was found in a ditch north of the hospital and had been out there for several hours.
Wow.
So, but once again, you know, drones were available. The police department there has used them. We've seen videos from Derbyshire before, and they were able to locate him very quickly. So very important stuff. I love hearing how drones are doing work like this.
Yeah, about 4 years ago, I was using my Phantom 3 for a search and rescue that turned into a recovery, unfortunately. But we did find him. It was an Alzheimer's patient that got out into the winter.
I remember that.
And if there was FLIR cameras on prosumer drones back then, might have made all the difference. See? So technology is developing and drones are, again, doing great things.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So next we have a story out of Japan. A sea-air integrated drone system hybrid setup was recently demonstrated at the Hakajima Sea Paradise Amusement Park in Yokohama.
By the way, congratulations on pronouncing all those names perfectly, Jeff. Very
I practice.
Yeah.
I practice.
Okay, good. Yeah.
So this drone is created as a partnership between Japanese telecommunication operator KDDI and aerial drone manufacturer ProDrone and an underwater robotics manufacturer called Qyse, Qyse. And the multicopter will then, fly out. It can land, release the underwater drone, right? And the underwater drone can go and perform its task. Thus, then it comes back and gets picked up by the first. I mean, this is a really cool system.
Yeah.
I love how they've integrated the two together, because we've seen the underwater drones. And the one thing about the underwater drones, you got that tethered line and you have to stand on the bank or maybe in a boat. And, your distance is very short. Here you have a drone that can fly out probably a considerable distance and drop that underwater drone. That's really cool.
That is really cool. And what would be even cooler is if the drone that dropped the drone had another drone inside that was like this little rover thing with wheels that just ran along the bottom. And then that drone, little robot dude came out. See, it's like a drone turducken. Oh, okay. Jason?
Yeah.
Jason? Well, at least he left us with his picture.
Yes, yeah. We have the picture, so we know who he is.
Yeah.
All right. So next in the news, this is probably something that Ken might be familiar with. This is a emergency crews were responding after a medical helicopter crashed near Drexel Hill United Methodist Church in Drexel Hill, Delaware County. And I believe you mentioned to me earlier that you have an association with this area.
That's where I grew up, Drexel Hill, Pennsylvania, Upper Darby. And that church was my church when I was young. And so I've been to weddings at that church. And so this helicopter, and this is the reason why I wanted to show it to you.
That medical helicopter.
Does anybody see anything wrong with this picture? There is a helicopter filming a crashed helicopter with a drone in between the two of them.
But you can see that it's a
Oh, yeah.
helicopter.
You should not be there. Even if it belongs to a news agency, that shouldn't be doing that.
You cannot see
No.
the
Right?
number because it is underneath.
Yeah, no, and it's awful close to the crash scene too. That's also something that
Right. So
It shouldn't be.
then rescue workers can't get close.
and obviously it's next to power lines, which is probably also not a good place for the drone to be.
Yeah.
A helicopter crash. It is a medical helicopter. You can see that drone right there.
Yeah. So that was.
See that drone right there.
Yeah, it was nice to see the old neighborhood, but not nice to see that. Nobody was killed in that, by the way.
Yes, there was 3 members that were in the helicopter. One of them was an infant, and everybody survived.
Yeah.
So, all right. So recently, one of our viewers has shared with us that Alabama has a new bill, which is HB 21, that is going through the review and approval stage. It's been introduced as part of the regular session. And this bill is to restrict drones or, UAVs from flying around critical infrastructure. And this is a bill that when you first look at it, you're like, oh my God, they're preventing me from being able to fly my drone. And after doing some research on this, one of the things I found out is that this is sort of a common practice for states. This is not something that is out of the ordinary for states to put into place. Since 2016, 14 different states have put in, similar bills. You have Arizona, Arkansas, Louisiana, Nevada, Oklahoma, Oregon, Tennessee, Texas, Wisconsin, California, Georgia, Hawaii, Mississippi, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania all have rules against flying around critical infrastructure. And we have shared on the show the fact that you need to stay away from critical infrastructure. You don't need to be flying near nuclear power stations or electrical substations, et cetera. These are all places that are, verboten. Even Ken, so one of my favorite videos that you did was near a dam that was near your house that I remember was one of the reasons why I bought my Phantom 3.
Right.
And you can't fly there anymore.
No, they took me to take the damn video down. It was the Army Corps of Engineers that called me. And they said, would you please take your video down? And I asked them why. And they said, well, because we don't want to give this information to the ne'er-do-wells. And so I said, sure, I'll take the damn video down.
Yeah, well, it was a good damn video.
Yeah. So this is something that's going on in all states, and we shouldn't panic.
Yeah, you will see other states that are going to pass similar legislation. And if you go through and read the bill, it's very specific about the type of infrastructure that they want to avoid flying around. And all of it is stuff that is critical infrastructure. It's not anything out of the ordinary.
Okay.
At least nothing that I could find. So, all right. Next, we have some video footage of a dozen cars that got stuck in Western Kentucky Parkway due to a mixture of snow and car crashes.
Yeah, and I was hoping Jason was going to be here for this because this is up his way. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, maybe you're thinking, oh, you can't fly over cars, but yeah, this is fine now. Sparsely populated area. The cars are not moving. So that would be considered under covered structure, the car. You're flying over a few people, but even that now is okay, apparently.
Well, and this particular issue was caused by not only the conditions of the road, but the fact that there were multiple car wrecks along this section of highway that hampered everything even more. So it wasn't like the one where you got caught in as much because you had like a single wreck, I think, that interrupted yours.
Yeah, this is mostly weather related. Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Jason, what do you think?
I think he likes it.
I think he likes it.
Yeah, he's smiling. All right, so last in the news, and this one is my favorite because I love the Iranians. They always give me some of the best stuff. So Iran recently showed off their kamikaze drone swarm, and they were showing off this drone swarm capability of hitting a compound, a clone compound that they created out in the desert.
Right.
And it was really impressive. I mean, the drones are all on these racks, and they fly off with rockets, and they get the wings, and they fly distances, et cetera, and they get all the way to the target, and they miss.
Oh. Well, back to the drawing board. That one hit, right? That one hit right there.
It's supposed to hit the big building. You know, it's not really hitting where it's supposed to.
Well, we don't know that, do we? I mean, I guess maybe they were aiming for nothing. Who knows?
So yeah, that was one of my favorites. So the Iranians out there just whipping up the action. All right, that's the news I got for you this
we
week.
could have some Iranians watching. And and Jason's back.
Yes, and I'm so sorry. I apologize for my absence. I know you've missed me. So.
Oh, we did. We had a couple Kentucky stories that would have been great to have you on, but that's fine. Are you here for good now?
Myself, I thought the picture was
great.
great.
The picture was better.
Yeah,
it looks just like me, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's
very lifelike.
Yeah, very cool. All right, Jeff. Well, thank you very much. You want to remind people about our illustrious sponsor one more time?
One more time. So our illustrious sponsor is Drone Harmony. And Drone Harmony automates mission planning in the most challenging vertical inspection scenarios, guaranteeing high-quality, reproducible data collection by pilots with minimal training. And they're a Swiss-based company.
And let's go ahead and give away. Let's give away one of these. One of these. We're going to give away a starter kit. All right, right now. All right, pick me. And we're going to let Jason. Pick the winner. Now, don't say pick me unless you're going to use this. Our winner last week was like, thanks, but so if you're going to use this service, which is an awesome service, by the way, here's the prices. Just in case you're curious, we're giving away this one. Starter kit. And this is, I believe, a 3-month starter. So, Jason, pick someone.
All right. Are there any rules? So I just pick anybody I want here?
Well, the people who are saying pick me right now have a need for this. They're not just saying pick me to throw a wrench in our works.
How about this? Here's who and I just pick anybody, right?
Is anybody?
Pick
yeah.
All right. I pick Flying with Stan.
Flying with Stan. Congrats, Flying with Stan. Make sure you contact me here, kenheronupload@gmail.com, and give me your info and your details and remind me that you won because I'm old and I forget stuff. kenheronupload@gmail.com. Jeff, thank you so much for the wonderful news.
You're most welcome.
Thanks
I'm
for
sorry I wasn't
stopping
here for
by. Now get out.
We should probably mention remotepilot101.com. Isn't it a great place?
Great place.
It is a great place. Tell us about your place, Jason.
So Remote Pilot 101, no one has prepared more Part 107 pilots than us. And you'll be pleased, those of you who are current customers now, you're going to be experiencing version 3 and a brand new learning management system in about 2 weeks. So the best just keeps on getting better. RemotePilot101.com. Use promo code Heron18, which, by the way, Ken, I can't brag on you enough. When we search promo codes, you know me, I'm all about our marketing and everything else. Heron18 is the most used promo code. Your people listen to you, Ken.
Yay! Thank you, people. I appreciate that. And you've been very busy updating the lessons too, because
there's not every video has gotten a facelift. There's 76 videos in there. Every single one has gotten a facelift. The course has gone from 9 hours to almost 12 hours now. There's just so much new content. We're always trying to innovate, push new content. Now with all the recurrent tests changing so much, we're like, wow, we just launched our new course. We need to fix it now. So we're back to that. I was just reviewing some of the stuff our writers sent over earlier for some of the content, and there's some more great stuff coming out here soon as well. And you take actual questions that test takers give you and kind of incorporate those in the quizzes too, right? So they're actual FAA questions. We have a ton of data on that, no doubt. So yeah, and I always share. You know this, Ken. I call them the boot camps at the end, where I share This is a question you're going to see on your knowledge test. Let's not memorize it. Let's understand the why behind it. But just to prepare them for the knowledge test, you know this though, Ken. I want you to be safe in the real world. My mission isn't just to pass a test. I want you safe when you're out there flying FPV, whatever it is, so you can be a light and be a mentor to everybody else that's out there wondering about what this new drone space is. Even though it's not that new, but to many it is so new. We have to be ambassadors to that.
You're a shining star, Jason. A shining star. Awesome.